Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF Bets Race of the Day for Monday, August the 20th. It's race number 8 at Saratoga, the $100,000 Evan Shipman Stakes. It's a race you can bet with your own DRF Bets account. Sign up, get 10 times the bonus. Bet 20, get 200. DRF.com/bets where you need to go for all the information. Here's the field. We've got some salty New York breds going a mile and an eighth at the Spa on Monday afternoon, and you can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Download them, handicap along with me. Let's take the field in post-position order. In the number 1 control group, all this horse has done is won 8 out of his last 11 races for Rudy Rodriguez. He's been 9 of 14 for this barn since being claimed for $62,005 back in January of 2017, and he loves the mile and an eighth distance. He's also 2 for 2 at Saratoga. Control group just held on last time out at Finger Lakes, but maybe he was regressing just a bit off a 101 Beyer performance at the Lakes 2 starts back over a sloppy track. Again, his game is speed, and as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, there is no surprise. Control group, the number 4, given an alert break, is going out there to the front. And if he goes off at 4-1, 9-2, a decent sort of price against these kind of horses, he might be able to take this field all the way as he searches for his 10th lifetime win. That's the rock-solid control group, a horse with 2 triple-digit Beyer speed figures on his resume and a graded stakes win at this distance. Winner of the Discovery in 2017. The number 2, Can You Dig It's going to be coming from last, according to Timeform US, so he's going to hope that someone goes out there with control group in the early portion of his races. Can You Dig It likes to run second. He might be the kind of horse best played on the bottom of single race exotics. 6 times second from 18 starts, but I thought his most recent race at this distance earlier in the Saratoga meet was a useful prep. It was his first start off a little bit of a layoff. He lingered near the back of the pack against open non-winners of one other than horses, and he finished with a little bit of interest to be third. This is a horse that's run well at Saratoga at this distance in the past. Not only that race, in the Albany last year where he finished second behind Twisted Tom, who we'll get to in a little bit, but he does need a bit of pace and race luck. Again, perhaps best played underneath in single race exotics. The number 3, Twisted Tom, had a big 3-year-old season for trainer Chad Brown. He won the New York Derby. He won the Albany. He beat older horses in the Empire Classic, including Control Group, and he came back off an elongated layoff as the odds-on favorite in the Saginaw Stakes, and he just didn't fire. Now, that was a race where the pace mostly held up. You could make the argument that Twisted Tom needed the race and that he is better going longer. This mile and an eighth distance where he is 3 for 3 on dirt, and 2 turns is also his friend. I would not be surprised at all if Twisted Tom gives a much improved performance in his second start of the form cycle, especially if there is some speed to push control group in the early portion of this race. The problem is it's Chad and Javier, and you know this horse is going to get bet just a little bit. Papa Shot is next, and Papa Shot's coming out of a non-winners of 2 other than optional claimer at the Spa, where he was dangled for the $62,500 optional claiming purse. Got a little pace that day, but just faced a real sharp open horse named Flowers for Lisa, who came back to run second against open foes with a 95 Beyer speed figure. Papa Shot hasn't won in a while. You've got to go back to May of 2017, and I've always been a little bit concerned about his ability at these longer distances, a mile and an eighth. I think he's more of a mile and a 16th, Old Aqueduct Inner Dirt mile 70-yard horse, but Papa Shot goes out for a strong trainer in Linda Rice and has a little bit of tactical speed. 12-1 on the morning line, also cross-entered in Finger Lakes on Monday, and I wouldn't be surprised if Papa Shot goes there. Hit It Once More is also cross-entered at the Lakes, but I think he'll run in this spot, and he's the kind of horse that has the speed to keep control group busy in the early portion of this race. He was third in the Saginaw last time out. He set the pace. He was no match for Pat on the Back and Why Not, 2 horses who we'll get to. But on his very best day, Hit It Once More has proven that he could win a race like this. The problem is his preferred running style is to get to the lead and control the pace. And with control group in here and with control group breaking to his inside, it is unlikely that Hit It Once More will get the easy lead that he prefers in order to run his best. I think he's going to prompt the pace. I think the pace will be solid, and that might do Hit It Once More in. Just a really respectable 5-year-old trained by Gary Siaka. Let's move on to Wine and Not, who goes out for trainer George George Weaver. They're going to take the blinkers off. Why not here? Trying to shake this horse up. He is not a prolific winner, 7-time second from 20 lifetime outings, but Weaver does very well with the blinkers off move. As we see from this formulator fact, past 5 years on dirt, older horses removing the blinks, 21% winners, a positive return on investment, and I think this horse might be sitting on his best career effort as he moves in his third start of the form cycle. Now, a mile and an eighth is a little bit of a question mark for this horse, but in the Saginaw, he was hung out 3 wide throughout, giving ground to the other 2 horses. He tried hard in the stretch to finish second behind Pat on the Back. And I think that this horse is going to be able to handle the mile and an eighth. With the blinkers off, he might be able to relax just a little bit more. We'll see if he gets the distance, but he is rock solid now. 90 buyers or greater in 2 out of his last 3 races, and maybe he's just the right price in this race. He might be dismissed a bit at 5 or 6 to 1 on the tote. The 7, Pat on the Back, beat Why Not last time out. Beat 2 of these other horses in that Saginaw Stakes. He sat a really nice trip. He sit just off, hit it once more in the 2 path with Why Not hung out outside. He attacked on the turn. He took over the lead. He never looked like a loser. He's earned buyer speed figures of 95 or greater in his last 3 races, but the big question mark here is the mile and an eighth distance. I do have concerns about the mile and an eighth. No match for Twisted Tom and Can You Dig It at a mile and an eighth in last year's Albany. I think he has the speed to sit a nice 3-wide tracking trip right off the other speeds, but I am a little concerned at a mile and an eighth, toting 124 pounds at a relatively short price. He's the horse to beat based on figs. Heck, he gave Diversify all he could handle 2 starts back in the Commentator, going a 1-turn mile at Belmont, and we know what Diversify is capable of, but I'm worried about a mile and an eighth at a short price for Pat on the Back. Let's not sleep completely on Winston's Chance, the number 8. He's a perfect 2 for 2 at Saratoga. He beat Control Group at Finger Lakes in 2017 and was necked by that horse 2 starts back, and Control Group's going to be a much shorter price than Winston's Choice in this spot. Plus, Winston's Choice has won at a mile and an eighth at the Spa in the past. He got the job done last time out at Saratoga, going 7 furlongs, taking advantage of a good solid pace to run down the field. He's a nice, honest horse that probably has to run a career best buyer speed figure to take this field down. Let's take a look at my top selection for the Evan Shipman Stakes. I'm going to give Why Not a chance. I like the blinkers off move for George Weaver. I think this horse can sit in the second flight behind what could be a contested pace, and we'll see if he'll get the mile and an eighth. Maybe the blinkers off gives him a little bit of that killer instinct that he's been lacking throughout most of his career. But I do like Why Not in this race. I'm going to go 6, 7, and 5 in the $100,000 Evan Shipman Monday's DRF Bets Race of the Day. You can play that card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at drf.com/bet and access 10 times your sign-up bonus. Approximate post time for the Evan Shipman Stakes, 5:02 Eastern. Good luck.